This is the third video in the short series of showing how I prepare a model, one of my Great Western Railway carriages models, ready for exporting into Trainz. And I just want to show you the part of Fire Explorer and have a look in Trainz projects and team. Here we are. So this is where I store them on my PC before I import them into Trainz using the content manager. And so let's just have a quick look at one of these new Great Western standard gauge carriages. This is C4 third class, and this is what it's made up of. So in the folder is a subfolder called with the name of the carriage and body appended to the end, and then various items I use for the VStub GS, and that's the script, and the brake tail lamp mesh which VStub requires, and the config text file and the screenshot which you see when you look at an item in Content Manager Plus. But the key thing is in here, and it's actually 5 meshes plus 2 I suppose that's kinetic or animation files. And so that's the body, that's what this is here. So that's the body mesh, and to which everything is then attached. And in my previous video, the second part of the doors, how to animate the doors, etc., I created these two, door left and door right, which I will export to there. And now I'm going to do the night mesh. You can see it's only about 1/10 of the size of the body mesh, and then I'm going to do the shadow mesh, which is even smaller. And these all come together in the config file. Just have a look here. Yes, there's the body mesh, there's the night mesh, there's doors right with its animation file, and doors left, and there's the shadow. And that's what makes up the final model. No thank you, Epson, we don't want an update. And so that's what I'm aiming at. I'm aiming to make those 5 meshes which come together to make the single carriage. So here's our body mesh, and I've already saved it as version 3, copy 2. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a copy of this, save as brake third D3, and I'm not worried about the version number, so I'm just going to call it night. Basically what these are the planes or meshes which are illuminated when you go into the night version, when you go into the night hours. So it's the partition walls and the internal walls and the lamps. That's what I light up. Moderately effective, not overwhelmed by the night aspect. So first of all, what I'm going to do is start deleting everything I don't need. So I'm going to take out all of the attachment mark points. We don't need those. And now what we do? Well, we just basically lay about this with a cleaver. Take off the roof, take off the little rigidity things for taking the rainwater down. We'll take off the carriage sides, we'll take out the windows. We're stripping it right down, taking away all the things we don't need. Take out the ducket. We take out the let's put it onto side view. I can wipe out quite a few of these and take away all of the chassis. And we can lose, what else can we lose? We can lose the lamps, but not the actual bulbs of the lamps. We'll leave those in because they are going to be illuminated. Lose that. And then the ends are made up of an outer mesh and an inner mesh. So I'm going to lose the outer mesh. That's my normal way of doing things. Don't know if other people do it that way, it's just me. And take out all of those, and that, and the handles. Well, we can actually get rid of the handles much easier than that. I'll show you in a moment. We'll take out more of the, not sure which one that is, so we'll go up to the end view. You can see it's beginning to sort itself out. Make sure that's on texture correct. But here we are on the end view, and coming in like that, slicing away. Let's left some bits in, so I'm going to take those out in a moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that to back view, because if the mesh or the plane is only showing in one direction, then I think I took out the right bit there. Yes, you can see the inside there. That's okay. And keeping an eye on this to make sure we don't delete everything that we need to keep. That's all of our, there's something there which is to keep pictures and the seats. So we're really gutting out the carriage front. So the pictures, there we are. And we've just got a couple of little bits left. That's just the GWR lettering. Make sure we've got it all. There's another one down there. Right, just so you get an eye for this. And that now is our internal paneling. Okay, so if I leave it just in position, then it's in the same position as the daylight paneling, so it's not really going to be visible at night. It's going to be hidden, it's going to be copied over. So what I tend to do is I move these everything inwards, the outer walls inwards fractionally. So 23, 11, 8/61 of an inch, that'll do. Just enough, just to move it in. 863, that's fine. And then this is our side, and that's what I'll bring that into 10.5, 3 foot 10.5, and the other side. That's very odd. Let's actually bring that out a little bit. Okay, we've got the ends. Those look like to be the partitions. So now the lamps can stay where they are, because they will light up, because the mesh that they're going to illuminate is already glass, transparent. And now these, the internal partitions, what I tend to do here is I pick up the internal partition, clone it, just take it up to halfway, just guessing it. Okay, and poly, delete those vertices, and this one a little bit, perhaps all poly vertices. There we are. And now let's just attach those, or rather group them together. Group, not clone, get it right. Group, and center. And then all I'm going to do is just clone it. Okay. And take out the other one. And just do that with the other partitions. So we've got one there, we can clone. Okay. Delete that. Now once I've got the this is the night lighting. And once I have this finished, then I shall be making the shadow that will follow the carriage about. That's even quicker, because what I will do is I will use a shadow which I've already created on another model, but you'll see it's a very simple mesh, very straightforward, and doesn't require any real editing. Just make sure it's the right length is about the only thing. In fact, what I can do is just I'll group up the latest version of the mesh and import a ready-made shadow. Make sure it's the right size. There we are. So that's all that's going to light up at night. So we can save that. That's the night's one done. And if I now open the 3.2 version 3 copy 2, there we are, we're back to this, and I'm going to select everything and I'm going to group it completely. You'll see why in a moment. So that's all one group, and then what I want to do is to merge, and this is where you have to go around the world for a shortcut. And I've got to find the GWR standard gauge, and then the carriages, and then K3, which is the full brake. K4, full brake shadow. The reason I'm choosing that is because it's non-clerestory, and I'm going to open that. And it uses one of the it's a box and a rectangle, and don't mind it using this. I'm going to use the seam material. That's nice. Okay, so here we are, after Gmax threw a hissy fit and kept crashing on me. So here is my D3. I've merged it into K4 full brake shadow, and you can see the shadow inside. That's all the black stuff. So what I'm going to do here for this is I'm going to select the two parts of the shadow and hide them. What's this bit here? Yeah, that's the floor of the carriage. And then the only other thing of this that I want to keep are the lamps. Now what I want to keep for the measurement are the two. I don't need all of that. I don't need the sides. I'm going to just throw those away at the moment, just to make life a bit easier. I want the side, the two ends rather, and I'll look at the lamps, and select invert, delete everything else. Still got the roof, so I can lose that. These multiple selections, and that should be the end. Yes, those are the two ends. And now I'm going to unhide all. Okay, I'm going to save this as D3 brake third shadow. Okay, so just using this as a guide, let's go in, and we've got the correct position for the lamps, so it's just this which I'm going to alter and pick it up, move it out, make sure we're right there. There we go. Over at this end. I'm not worry about the bottom bit at the moment. Cancel there, make sure we're correct. No, we're a little bit short. Where are we? take it out to the end, there we are, and I'm going to hide it. I'm also going to save it. I can delete that and that. Now here I just want to make sure that I get these black. The shadow has to be black, or very, very, very dark grey. I've got something like that in my frames texture, which is what I'm going to use. So if I haven't already done so, I'm pretty sure I have. And now you get an italicized version of it if you're altering the texture on more than one mesh at a time. Though you can only do that if they're all exactly the same, and then I always like to make them unique after that. And then let's just pick up the barrel. Let's try and pick up the barrel. This is the external part of the little oil lamps, and you'll see this is my frames, my standard frames texture. It's not standard, it varies a bit, but I always have that available because it's a multitude of greys and odd shapes in the textures which are good for little detail things. And you don't want to spend too much of your polys on textures, or too much of the size of your file on textures. Make it unique. Okay, yeah. So let's have a look on the side view and unhide. Just make sure that side view is selected, and then we've just got to do this simple rectangular box at the base here, so it's not got no top because I don't need one. I'm just going to take it right to that position there. There's a gap, so to do with just closing it up. Doesn't really make a big deal because the shadow is, it's partly finished partly buried in the main mesh, and that is our shadow. There we are. Now what you can do, you can use, I've got a routine, a little from PevSoft, PEVSoft, very good little bits and pieces, very handy utilities. Well, that looks good. Just save that, and so there we are. That's our shadow. You can get a bit of software. I've got it up here. PevSoft images. Oh, that's images to TVA to TGA. Quick shadows. There we are. Doesn't always do exactly what I want it to do, so I tend to make my own shadows. But in an emergency, that's very handy to use, or not an emergency. If you just want to bang out something quick, very handy to use. It'll also do a detailed shadow, which of course will be larger. And then there's the Trainz viewer, which is another brilliant little utility for when you're making things in Trainz, and I'd recommend that. So there we are. There's our shadow, and that means D3 break third is well on its way now to being set up and imported into Trainz. It will be my next the next batch of releases that I do. Just to give you an idea, here is E27 Compo. There's the side drawing of it underneath, and I'm currently preparing the texture. This is the base for the texture. This is how I create the 2D texture that goes on the side there. For example, there's others here. I think that was D3. So there's the texture created for D3, and that's the one that I was working on for this particular carriage. So you can see there how you do that, and then you export that as a JPEG, convert it to a TGA to the correct size, and that gives me the side for, might as well see it, mightn't we? That's the texture that goes on there, and also I use the part of the texture for the doors as well, and for the guard's ducket. So I hope that's given you a bit of an insight into how I'm making these carriages for the Great Western Railway for Trainz. Lots more carriages, loads more carriages to come. I've got a book full here by what's his name now? Let's have a quick look. By J.H. Russell, brilliant author, produced some lovely books about the Great Western Railway, and has given me lots of fun making all sorts of models for trains. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, queries, questions, whatever, please do post them. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, ING4Trainz, completely free and completely anonymous, and just gives me a bit of a boost for making more of these videos.